I wanted to talk about depression. I battled depression. I am battling depression today. As you know, if you have depression problems, I have already crossed the major milestone of taking the shower. I haven't gotten dressed yet, but I need to run some errands later. I'm just not feeling it. And I'm pretty sure it is because the anniversary of my husband's accident is tomorrow, and I just went through so much hell. I remember when he woke up from the coma and he knew me again. This is about 6 weeks after the accident. He took my hand and he said, "You have suffered more than I have," and he was right. It was just brutal. 18 years of being the only caregiver for a blind man in a wheelchair who had a stroke and couldn't use his right arm or his right leg. It was very, very rough, especially when the seizures came and the Alzheimer's, and it's just rough. But I have my sweet calico baby here. Hi there. Say hi to your adoring fans. She says no thanks. No thanks for leaving. We're leaving. Oh, the button of face. I'm very honored I get the button of face. And then I got Mr. Spotman over there and my protein shake. That took a minute making the protein shake, but today is just rough, guys. Rough. But what gets me is there is someone out there who's going through this or worse. I have my faith. I have Jesus. I have leaning on the arms of God. I have multiple promises in the Bible that God is going to wipe all my tears away. And I think only someone who really has experienced serious depression can relate to that, and what a promise that is to us. But it's just rough. I'm just having a hard time even getting started on my Bible study, my shower. Um, just rough. I've got things I need to do. I'm not off for another week. So I did do the litter box and I took out the trash. So that's good. But I wanted to talk about what drives me. So I'm going to be going to the Comcast store to return my modem because I had the Comcast internet for a very long time, but after someone who will remain unnamed knocked a protein shake into my laptop and fried it. It was just a, basic little Chromebook. Worked about a day and a half to earn the money for it. And I got my discount and Walmart delivered it, which was nice. But and my neighbors didn't steal it, so that's even better. But it was fried, and it would cost more to fix it than it would to just get a new one. But if I've got $100, I'm gonna spend it on this. I'm not gonna spend it on me. So I I just went to the phone for everything, and I found out I can use the phone for pretty much everything. It's a bit of a hassle, like on message boards and stuff, typing it all out with the one finger. I'm the one finger typist on the phone. But I realized, well, wait a minute, and I went to my cell phone provider and learned that for $10 more a month, I could get unlimited with a hotspot. And because the tablet here runs on Wi-Fi, and it it would need some kind of Wi-Fi connection. But it works. It works great. It's been working great for a month. So I called Comcast. I said, okay, I'm done with you guys. And I have only dated one man, but it was like a very, very bad breakup of just they didn't want to take no for an answer, or they thought I was just, playing a game, trying to get a better deal, and we can do this, we can do that. And I'm like, no, 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 just please. turn it off. So they finally did, hopefully. The very nice man said the auto pays are going to stop, and they better. But I need to return the modem because I was renting the modem from them. So the modem has to go back. So I'm going to do it today. But I just lacking the energy for it. My doctor once said I have more of a loss of interest type depression. So if you know what that means. So I'm going to be seeing people. I'm going to be riding my usual 85. I'm going to be riding the 44, which I haven't ridden in years. I am going to be walking around Willow Brick Mall, which I haven't done in years. And then I got to get home somehow, which is either another 44 and the 85, or take the 86 to the 96 to the 85, which I'm thinking I might do that. But that's all different bus drivers there. So I need to figure out the outreach for that. Now, I basically have two kinds of outreach. I'm going to see you again with like my regular drivers. I might just do like a tract or something in the candy. And a note, of course, and then the I'm never going to see you again pet thing. So I was trying to figure that out today, what the outreach would be for today. So I'm probably going to do a combination of this New Testament with, I call it done up, if it's got like the tract and everything. And the nice thing is Lifeway, well, I think it's Holman does these. Yeah, Holman is really getting spiffy with the highlights here in the Romans Road. I really like this. You can see how it has, it's actually got the little arrows now and everything. I really like that because, the Bible needs to be accessible for people. And they need to know, where to start, where to go. So anyways, I like to do it up. This is not, I need to fix it up. And then I thought, well, maybe somebody else out there is also having a terrible day. And one of my very, very favorite things when I'm depressed is this. Somebody sent me $100 for Bibles. And I spent about half of it on the Bibles. And I spent $40 on these. And Bible Promise books. Very, very good to have. So I thought I'll put those together today. Hopefully that'll fit in the quart bag together with some candy, and we're good. So, that's enough to get them going. So, but, and that's the other thing. God uses this. There's a purpose behind my depression that motivates me and gives me the heart for the outreach to all these people. The other night, as when I was a baby, I didn't always get food to eat when I needed it. It was very hit and miss when I was going to eat. My mother was extremely depressed and an alcoholic, and she just wasn't able. So I can relate to people being hungry. And I saw somebody who was hungry, and God was able to give me a heart for them and help them out a little. So, And it also says in the Bible, Matthew 6:2, when you help the needy, don't go out and blow the trumpet. Because in the old days, they used to go out and they would have a whole procession and then they would, we're going to give food to the poor. And, everybody would notice them. And there was all this acclaim. And Jesus said, you already got your reward, buddy. That you're not getting anything in heaven. And I think a lot of these influencers who are out there making a big deal out of buying a hamburger for a homeless guy are in for a very rude shock when they get to heaven. And Jesus is going to say, hey, look, buddy, you got 640 likes. You don't get anything here. So, I am very, very careful what I talk about. So anyways, I want to do that. I also want to do some kind of handout because look at them, guys. Look at them. They're just waiting to go out. So I want to do that. I do not like to hold on to Bibles for a long period of time either. I don't feel that's what God wants me to do. So I need to figure that out. But, Revelation 21:4 was Ron's very favorite Bible verse. He will wipe every tear from their eyes. My favorite, one of my favorites, I have several favorite Bible verses, is Revelation 21:5, where God is on the throne. He said, and the one who was seated on the throne said, "Behold, I make all things new. I make all things new." That is good to know. This is temporary. And Paul talked about his physical problems, or he had some kind of issues that plagued him his whole career as an evangelist. He referred to it as the thorn in his flesh, and that he had begged God to take it from him 3 times. But God told him, and this is one of my favorite verses too, "My strength is made perfect in weakness." So, and it actually means dynamite. And there's incredible power in your weakness and my strength together. So I hang on to that. And the good thing is, tomorrow I'm going to be busy. I'm going to be running around at work, and I won't have time for a pity party. But and it's weird, because you would think it would be every year it would really hit me hard, but it doesn't always. The second year after the accident, when I realized there wasn't going to be any kind of settlement for Ron, I had a hard time with that. That was 2005. But God has provided for me amazingly. The 20th anniversary was kind of hard. 23, that was hard. 2023 was a little hard. But I think I worked that day, and that helped. And I could ask for it off. It's, January 7th. That is not a big retail day by any means. But I didn't. And I think it's better to stay busy. Because, like, my 50th birthday was horrible. It was just me all alone at home, and I got a migraine, and I was just all by myself on my 50th birthday. It was just hideous. No, I don't want to do that. I should have gone and done the handout. That would have been awesome. But, it's just hanging in there and seeking God's will. And this also, like Paul said, it keeps me from getting puffed up. None of this outreach happens in my strength, my power, my concepts, any of it. I'm just doing my job that God has given me to do. That is it.